What's going on YouTube? This is Devon in my office and I'm getting ready to change out my ceiling fan. I'm also going to make it into a smart fan so I can control it via voice control. So hang around and I'll show you exactly how I made that change. Talk to you soon. So this is the current fan in my office and it's controlled via that light switch. Turns it off and on, and then over here I've got this remote control that I can change speed on the fan and change the light dimming. So I'm going to swap that out into a little bit more advanced system so I can control it via voice control. So hang out and I'll be right back. So how do you turn your ceiling fan into a smart fan? Well, these are the devices that you'll need. You'll need the bond, and then you'll need a control for your ceiling fan. And there's my new ceiling fan. And these devices right here, once connected, is going to allow me to voice control my ceiling fan. So stay tuned and I'll show you exactly how you can make this happen. So the first thing we're going to do is replace the current switch with this switch. I just need to pull the plate off and get this wired. If you're not comfortable with wiring this type of electrical connection, get somebody else to do it or hire a professional. Make sure you turn off your breaker to this switch as well before you get started. All right. So I've taken the cover plate off, and the next thing for me to do is to take out the switch in itself. So I have removed the switch from the wall, and this is the wiring that I'm currently seeing. I've got two black wires and the ground. So the idea is to replace these wires with the switch that I'm currently getting ready to install, and then close the wall back up and then move on to the ceiling fan. Alright, so the switch is now replaced with the switch that I'm going to be using to control the ceiling fan and lighting. And so the wiring is complete. I am going to leave the switch out of the box until the ceiling fan is installed, just in the event that I need to troubleshoot any of the issues. I don't have to go back into the box and remove the switch again, so stay tuned. Alright, so a couple of things before I move forward. This switch actually has some dip switches on the inside, as you can see them there. And the other part that connects to the fan also has some dip switches, right? Labeled 1 through 4. So what you're going to have to do is make sure that the dip switches are exactly the same settings for both the switch and the receiver that's going to be at the fan end. So however you set the switch here, you also have to set the same switch there. Okay? So this is the faceplate. I forgot to tell you guys. Basically, you just pull this off to access the dip switch. And so there are your dip switches. And I've set 1 and 4 to down and leave the other 2 and 3 as up. Right, and so I'm going to do the same thing for this switch for the receiver end. So as you can see, 1 and 4 is down and the other 2 are up. So they're exactly the same. Okay, on to the next step. So there's a little battery that comes with this particular switch, probably for if you lose power. But here it is. I'm going to go ahead and install the battery and then move on to the next step. Okay, so I've got most of my fan assembled, right? It's mounted on the plate, and this device right here goes in between this space. So what you're going to do is you're going to force this device in between this space right here. So as you can see, the device is in the space. There it is. This gives you like another view. And you're basically going to wire it up as directed. It's pretty straightforward from here on out. So I'm going to go ahead and wire it up. And once done, I'll move on to the other step. As you can see, all my wires are connected. Pretty straightforward wiring, just follow the direction as it came with the device. and you should be good to go. So on to the next step. So as you can see, the ceiling fan is installed. It's got the 2 pull strings. And over here is my switch. So you've got, don't know if you can see that, there you go. You can see high, medium, low, off, and then the light, and then you've got the switch off and on down here. If it's on the off position and you select anything, nothing happens. If you put it back on the on position and you turn the lights on, and as you can see, there's the light. If I hit fan on low, comes on low. If I go to medium, and if I go to high, and then I can turn the fan off, which I just did, and I can turn the lights off. The other thing that this does too is if you want to dim your lights, you can if you just press the down on the light switch, and if you press the up, so you can also do that from this light switch. All right, let's keep it going. On to the next step. Okay, so the switch is now on the wall. So the installation of the switch and the fan is complete. Just a quick note, that switch is thick, so you gotta make sure that the wires are pushed all the way back in the box, okay? Or else you'll have some trouble trying to squeeze it in there. I would suggest making sure that all your wires got enough length and they're pushed all the way back and secure before you start pushing that switch in, because there's a bunch of wires in there. So there's the switch, there's the fan. Now we're going to integrate it to the bond and then connect it to Alexa so I can control both of them, light and fan. On to the next step. All right, now, so the switch is installed and the fan is installed. So how do you integrate it with Alexa? All right, that's what I'll show you next. So here's a screenshot of my phone. So what you're gonna wanna do is go and download the Bond application, which is what you're looking at. These are all other applications that I currently have on my phone. So once you've downloaded the application and you've set up the account with Bond, just like you would any other device, say the Hue, Philips Hue, or the SmartThings, you go ahead and set up your account. You select Bond. And as you can see, I have several ceiling fans in my home already set up. These are all ceiling fans. I currently have 2 Bond. One is named Bond 1 and the other one is called my Bridge. That's located in my office. And so what you're gonna need to do is you're gonna add device. So you're gonna hit tap, and then these are the devices that you can add. Since you're gonna be setting up basically a remote control fan, what you wanna do is go to remote control, and then if you have multiple bridge, you select the bridge that you're gonna be working with. I'm currently gonna be working with my Bridge. And then you select ceiling fan. What you're gonna do next is give your device a location. And then you're gonna give your device a name. And you literally just follow the directions. I'm not gonna go through the whole direction process, but it's fairly simple. As you go through the process, get your device set up on the Bond, and then once it's set up, then you will have to link it to Alexa. And let's go through and show that next. So before we go to the Alexa setup, I just wanted to show you a couple of things. So I've set up the ceiling fan already. So I'm going to click on Bond. Get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. So the office fan that you're looking at, that's the one that I just recently set up and installed in my office, right? So if I select it, These are the functions of the ceiling fan. So I can turn the lights on, off, I can change the speed, and I can dim the lights via the dimmer. Now, the other thing that they're doing is with the Bond, they've come up with a beta to where you can set schedules. And so you would select the calendar. This is a schedule that I currently have already. You can add a schedule. You can select when. You can also select what it does, which is turn lights off and on, and speed. And you can have it repeat every day, or you can check off the weekends and just let it do weekdays. But that's pretty much it. It's fairly simple. It works very well, and I've been impressed with Bond ever since they came out. And as you can see, these are all ceiling fans that I currently have. The one drawback though is Bond only allows you to program 6 devices. So after 6 devices, you have to purchase another Bond hub to add other devices. So that's one of the drawbacks. All right, so let's move on to setting up to Alexa. Okay, so what you're going to want to do now is you're going to go to your Alexa app. You're going to go to the home. And then what you want to do is you're going to go to more. Then you're going to go to skills and routine. And then you're going to search for the Bond skill. And it's going to be BOND. And this would be the one right here, the one that says Bond Bridge. Or you can do the one that says Bond Home. The one that says Bond Home is the newest version, so let's go ahead and do Bond Home. And then you basically set up the account like you would any other devices. I'm not going to go through the whole process because I'm doing this with the assumption that you've done this to other applications. So if I go to settings, takes a minute to load. It tells me that my Bond is already linked. If yours wasn't linked, you would have to go through the link process. And then that's pretty much it. Then you obviously are going to have to go to devices and then add devices. And then if you already have devices, you would go to hit the hub because you're adding a Bond hub. And then what I typically just do is just go to other, since Alexa is going to recognize it, and then you just hit discover devices, and then it goes through and discover your device. And once it discovers it, that's pretty much it. You can give it unique names, and then you can start asking our lady friend to turn lights off and on. All right, and that's pretty much how you set it up in the Alexa app. It's me again. So now that we've got your Bond and your ceiling fan all linked to our lady friend, let's go ahead and give it a quick test. Alexa, turn on DMD office light.
Okay.
Turn off DMD office light.
Okay.
Turn on DMD office fan.
Okay.
Turn on DMD office fan to 50%.
Okay.
Turn off DMD office fan.
Okay.
As you can see, each command work like it should. And that's really a very easy way to integrate your ceiling fan with our lady friend and be able to control it without any issues. It works fairly well. I've got several fans in the house that work the exact same way. But in order to do so, you have to have a fan that has a remote control, or you can install the light switch that I installed earlier, which would be that one. Sorry for the mishap on the video. It's the end of the day and I'm a little tired. But this is how you can easily integrate your ceiling fan. You do need a Bond, and you will need a fan with a remote control in order for it to work. And then the rest of it is just integrating with our lady friend and making sure that it's set up with a unique name, and you should be good to go. Anyway, hope this helps somebody who is trying to find a way to integrate their ceiling fan and add it to voice control. See you soon.